Welcome to Season 3 of Soul Spark. These episodes are brain snacks, brief bite-sized reflections from my personal journey, designed to be digested in just a few minutes. I want to keep things real here, which means these recordings, much like life itself, are perfectly imperfect. You might hear a pigeon outside my window, a scooter passing by, or me simply stumbling over a word. I'm not here to tell you how to live or what to do. I'm just here to share my unpolished stories and the questions I've wrestled with along the way. My hope is that by sharing what's moved me, I might just spark something in your soul today. Let's dive in. The disconnected lever. Have you ever sat in the passenger seat of a car next to a little kid who has one of those plastic toy steering wheels? The kid is turning the wheel frantically, making engine noises, fully believing that they are the one driving the car. They think that when they turn left, the car turns left. As an adult, we look at it and smile because we know the truth. We know their steering wheel isn't actually connected to the wheels on the road. In October 2025, I had to face a very uncomfortable truth about my own life. For decades, I believed that I was driving the big car of society. I believed if I followed the rules, pay attention to the news, and cast my vote in the ballot box, I was steering the direction of the world. But as I looked at the landscape around me, the endless political shouting, the polarization, the feeling that nothing ever truly changes, a heavy exhaustion settled into my chest. I felt a deep, frustrating realization. It felt like I was pulling a giant lever, but the lever wasn't actually connected to the machine. We are taught from a very young age that our ultimate power is our vote. We are told that this is how we change the world. But behind the heavy curtain of politics, the real steering wheel is so often held by massive corporations, powerful lobbyists, and economic engines that operate completely out of our sight. When that illusion finally broke for me, my first reaction was intense anger. And then came a wave of deep cynicism. I felt entirely powerless. I thought, if my vote doesn't actually move the needle up there, then what is the point of any of this? It is an incredible bitter pill to swallow. Your ego wants to believe that you have the power to fix the massive global systems. But as I sat with that heavy feeling of defeat, the fog started to clear. A quiet, much more grounded truth rose up from the surface. I asked myself, if the big lever isn't connected, then where is my actual power? I realized that I had been giving all my emotional energy to an illusion, while completely ignoring the spaces where I am actually in control. True power isn't something you exercise once every 4 years by coloring in a circle on a piece of paper. True power is what you do every single day. It is where you choose to spend your money. It is the food you decide to put on your table. It is how you speak to your neighbors, how you show up for your family, and the energy you bring into a room. The massive political machine might be out of my hands, but the microeconomy of my daily life belongs entirely to me. When you finally stop pouring your soul into a system you cannot control, a massive weight lifts off your shoulders. You stop watching the news with a clenched jaw. You stop fighting invisible enemies on the internet. You take all that wasted, angry energy and you pull it back into your own house. You stop acting like a frustrated passenger with a plastic steering wheel, and you start actually driving the reality of your own day-to-day life. So, I want to ask you, how much of your daily peace are you sacrificing to a machine you cannot control? What if the lever you're pulling so hard right now isn't actually connected to anything real? What if you gave yourself permission today to step away from the noise and reclaim your true power in the quiet choices you make right here, right now? I hope I sparked your soul today. Thank you for sharing this perfectly imperfect space with me today. As you step back into the rush of your world, Remember that you don't need to have it all figured out, and you certainly don't need to perform for anyone. Sometimes just sitting with the messy questions is exactly where you need to be. May this brain snack offer you a deep breath and a moment of stillness in the noise. And remember, embrace the spark.